Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. So excited to have you here today. So today I'm going to do a mat Pilates do's and don'ts. I hate to say do's and don'ts because there's a lot of different styles, there's a lot of different ways of doing certain exercises, but this is based on the BASI repertoire, and it's a lot of the questions I see or I get from the mat students, and it's a lot of things that we see during the examination process that mat students should be aware of. So I hope you enjoy the video. Please smash that like button and hit subscribe to become a part of the Pilates Life channel. Here we go, let's move. Okay, here we go. We're going to do some Pilates mat do's and don'ts. This is a great class, so move alongside with us if you like, or just take notes, either way. But I'm going to take you through a class that I really enjoy teaching from time to time. Go over the repertoire, make some corrections, and we'll go from there. I've got a great assistant today. It's Ara. Come on in. Thank you so much for helping me out. She is awesome. She's just finished the comprehensive program. She did the graduate and the foundation program, and now she's getting ready for her exams. Great mover, good friend of mine. Always happy to have you here. So I'd like to have you lie down. Knees are bent, feet are flat, and we're just going to start with a BASI fundamental warm-up. It's pelvic curls, spine to supine, chest lift, chest lift with rotation. Again, if you want to join us, join along, do this class. It's a great class. Listen to the cues. Make some notes of the cues mentally as you're moving with us, okay? Your knees are going to be bent, feet are flat, a couple inches apart. We're going to start with a pelvic curl. Move over towards me just a little bit. I think the mat work is just as profound, if not more, than the comprehensive work. So as a teacher, make sure you're making those corrections, you're making those pertinent views of your client, what they're doing and how they're doing it. We're going to come to a neutral pelvic position. Okay, arms are nice and long, head's in line with your spine. We're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, go into your pelvic, tilt posterior, peel the spine up, the backs of the legs are working, the ribs are working. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down. That's a great pelvic curl. Now, one of the things I see often is the adductors losing their activity. So one of the cues I like is imagine you've got a tennis ball between your knees and you're holding that tennis ball. You can't drop it. Inhale. Exhale, go into that deep posterior tilt, use the backs of the legs, peel the spine up, the abdominals are working to hold the core there. We find this beautiful line. Another thing that I see is that people come up too high and they let their ribs flare. Inhale at the top, exhale, roll down. Let's do a couple together if you're working out with us. Inhale. Exhale, peel your spine up. Just a great way to get that spine to loosen and move. Sometimes I do some pelvic tilts before I do my pelvic curls to feel that waving sensation. Exhale, roll down. Through the spine as we move. Inhale, exhale up. She's doing a great job on keeping those knees parallel, keeping those adductors active, finding that nice diagonal line. Inhale, exhale down. Let's do two more together. Inhale from neutral. Exhale, deep posterior, backs of the legs hook up. Right about here, all the extensors of the body are working. Your arm extensors, your shoulder extensors, your back extensors, your hip extensors. This is a beautiful position to be in, and all that anterior line is getting a nice stretch. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Or one more after this one. Inhale, exhale, peel up. Really nice, Ara. That looks excellent. Inhale, exhale down. Notice the fingers are long, the arms are straight, but we're not creating any tension in the neck of the shoulders. Hold this line. Take your arms above your chest. Again, if you're moving with us, just kind of go with the flow of the session. Face your palms towards one another. Open your arms to a nice wide position. Now, if you're on the mat or you're on the floor, this is an excellent position for you. If you're on a raised mat that has handles or uprights above you, feel free to use those. In this case, we'll have her bend her elbows, reach her hands back, and just kind of hold that mat a little bit. Some people are too tight in the shoulders to get that, so if the ribs are flaring, just leave your arms to a T position. Tabletop your legs one at a time. Very commonly, I see people bring both legs up at the same time. And that can be hard on your back. So always secure your core, bring your legs up one at a time, glue those knees together again so those adductors are active. We inhale to one side of the body. We exhale, pull back to center. This is spine twist supine. Inhale to the other side. And exhale to me. If you're moving with us, just move with us. Inhale, drop your legs towards your screen. Exhale, pull back to center. Inhale, away from the screen, away from us. Exhale to center. One of the most common things I see is the legs coming apart. Or as we rotate to one side, we go too far, and that hip will drop a little bit, or we lose the activity of keeping this whole lower unit as one. Exhale back to center. Keeping those ribs engaged. Inhale to the other side. Exhale to center, where I'll also see a variance of the feet. Sometimes the feet come up too high. Sometimes they come down too low. Sometimes they tuck in a little bit too much. Keep those knees directly above your hips. Keep that beautiful tabletop position. And move that lower body as one unit. Let's do a couple more each side. Upper body stays nice and still. Another common thing I see is one shoulder will start to come up off the mat as you're twisting to the opposite side. Upper body should be still as one unit. Lower body should be still as one unit. Imagine your waist is like a washcloth and you're just wringing that washcloth out. Let's do one more each side. Don't bypass the fundamentals. The warm-up is not just about warming your body up. The warm-up is also about you as a teacher to look at your client and assess how they're moving. In these 4 exercises in the fundamental warm-up, there's so much information that you can get. So we take the legs down one at a time. The feet are a couple inches apart. The hands interlace behind the head, and we prepare for the chest lift. She's looking great, nice open shoulders. If you can get your elbows as wide as you can without flaring your ribs, please do. If you need to bring them in a little bit because your pecs are tight, that's great, no problem. It's a good modification, but make sure you're not coming too far together. Chest lift. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, head, chest, and shoulders come forward. Eye line should be right around here, right between the thighs. Just between maybe the lower upper thigh and the knee. Right about here. Inhale. And exhale down. It's a double breath pattern. That double breath pattern really emphasizes that rectus abdominis strength, so don't neglect that. Inhale. Exhale up. Look at that head, chest, and shoulders all moving as one unit. Inhale. That's exactly what I want to see. Exhale down. Some of the things I notice is as people come up, they go into a deeper posterior. So go to neutral. Inhale. As you exhale, you go to deeper posterior. Tuck your tail a little bit. Tuck your tail. And that's not what you want. You want to try to maintain that neutral pelvic position. Inhale. Exhale down. Also, if you notice that you personally or your client is getting tension in the neck, they're trying to shoot the head forward too much. Imagine you're just kind of resting your head into your hands. You've got to have a deep interlace, basically having a nice little hammock for your head to sit in. Inhale. Exhale. Head, chest, and shoulders come in. Hold. Breathe in. And exhale down. One of the most common things that I see is not coming into forward flexion, not using the rectus abdominis to do what it's meant to do, which is pull that spine into flexion. Inhale. So what I want you to do is exhale, lift your nose towards the ceiling, chin up a little bit, and stop right about there. This is what you'll see in your client. You don't want that. Nothing's happening, but the neck is working and the back is taking over. Come back down. I don't want you to sit there for too long. So inhale. Exhale. That's why eyes on the thighs or around the knees is such an important aspect, because that's where your gaze should be as you come up. Inhale and exhale down. Good, one more. Ours getting tired on me, but this is a good strong exercise. She's got this. Inhale, exhale up, hold, breathe in, and exhale down. One of my favorite modifications, and do this with us if you're doing a mat class, is grabbing the thighs and giving yourself a little extra emphasis forward. So take a breath in. Exhale up. We hold this position. We inhale, grab our thighs, and don't just gingerly grab them. Give them a good grip with your hands. Your elbows are kind of kicking out to the side. You'll exhale, pull a little deeper into forward flexion. Don't stress out your neck or try to pull it beyond neutral, but just a little more depth from those abdominals. Now we hold that line. We interlace our hands behind our head. Oh yes, all right, inhale. And we exhale back down, and all that does is just maximize that rectus abdominis engagement. Inhale, exhale up, hold, inhale, grab your thighs, exhale, pull yourself a little deeper, keep that height, interlace your hands behind your head, and down you go. That was excellent. We're going to go into chest lift with rotation, which is the completion of the fundamental warm-up. Breathe in. Exhale up. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, rotate towards me. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate away from me. Come back to center. And go ahead and rest for a moment. If you're at home, rest for a moment. This is exactly what I'm talking about. One of my favorite cues is forward flexion takes priority over rotation. So I want you to keep that deep flexion and maybe limit your rotation a little bit, because she was a little bit too far in rotation. One of the most common things I see, people either opening the rib going into lateral flexion or trying to rotate too far. So watch the difference. Inhale, exhale up. From here, inhale, we're just going to rotate to where we can control the pelvis and the lower body, keeping that deep forward flexion. Inhale, center, exhale, rotate. That's about it. That looks beautiful. The eye gaze just comes right along the side of the thigh, and then center. Head, chest, and shoulders still moving as one unit. Another common thing I see is the nose going too far to one direction. Keep your head in line with your sternum. Are you interlacing your hands?
Yep.
Okay, there, that's better. And rotate. Don't let the nose veer too much to one side. Keep it in line with the sternum. And center. Rotate. Don't let the knees come apart. Keep the adductors active. Center. Away from me. That's better. And center. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Hold center, breathe in, oh, and roll down. That's a lot of work in that rectus abdominis. That was looking great. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm gonna have you scoot down a little bit so we don't get our hands caught up in the machine there. Just a little bit, that's it. Arms above your head. Let's go into the 100 prep. Preparing for the 100. We take our legs to tabletop one at a time. Glue those knees together. Keep those ribs engaged, keep that pelvis neutral. When you come into your C curve, the arms will drift above the chest first. The head, chest, and shoulders follow you into that C curve. No tension in the shoulders, no excessive pronation of the shoulders, and hands come parallel to the floor. Inhale, arms start to drift above, finding that line of the shoulder, and then the head, chest, and shoulders follow back. There's a lot of technique to that. Try to make it flow within the technique of the movement. Exhale up. Inhale, return. Excellent. Keep your head down a little further. Exhale up. Hand, nope. Come back. See, that's exactly what I see, and that's what I wanted to show you guys. The head is leading the movement. The arms should come above the chest. The head, chest, and shoulders should follow, but that should be a flow. Hands down a little bit, right there. Inhale, return. Your return is excellent, Aura. Again, exhale up. Nice. Inhale, return. That was better. And we exhale up. Beautiful. Inhale, return. As you can see, Aura's a little hypermobile on the elbows, so I'd encourage her or yourself, if you're the same, to make sure you co-contract those elbows so you're not putting any undue pressure on that elbow joint. Exhale up. Inhale, return. Let's go right into the 100. Take a breath in. As you exhale into that C curve, lengthen those legs out to a diagonal line. Inhale to prepare and pause. pump, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, it's a pump exhale for 5, pump inhale for 5, 10 times. That equals 100. We're watching for the shoulders, we're watching for neck tension. If you start to see neck tension building up in yourself or in your client, it's time to rest. You don't have to go to the full 100. And pump, pump, pump. If you start to see the abdominals bulging or giving way a little bit, you know the back is taking over, time to stop. If it's too hard for your client, this line is very challenging. You can modify, bend your knees, keep the 100 going to here. If you're ready to go into the 100 but just not quite ready to go into this position, you can do the 100 with your feet here. And pump, pump, same muscle focus, same objective, it's just modified to suit the needs of yourself or your client. And return. Nicely done. Palms face one another. We're going to go into the rollover. Lengthen your legs long. We inhale into our C curve. Now, make sure you find that deep forward flex position. You find that C curve. This is important because a lot of people will start lifting from about here or from about halfway down. This is basically your chest lift position with your legs straight. If you interlace your hands behind your head here, bend your knees, slide them in, there's your chest lift position. Lengthen your legs out, hands by your side, palms facing one another. From here, it's a hinge up. We hold, inhale, exhale down. The original roll-up has a lot more flexion and a lot more scoop from that lower line. That's okay. Whatever discipline you're studying, whatever style you want to work with, I respect 100%. The BASI roll-up is very technical. We inhale to our C curve. Boom. That maximizes the rectus abdominis. As we exhale up, and we only come to about the shoulders over the hips, opposed to maximizing forward flexion, what that does is protect your lumbar. It protects your back. Inhale. We hinge back, maintaining that beautiful C curve, and then reach behind. I love it. That was beautiful. 2 more. If you're working out with us, we're going to do 2 more. Inhale, C curve. From here, I love the adduction that she has. She's really using those adductors. Using those adductors helps encourage those lower abdominals to come into play. And roll back. One of the most common things I see is people are not active enough in those adductors. 1 more. Inhale. Watch your shoulders. Yes, thank you, Ara. That was excellent. Another common thing I see is that shrugging of the shoulders. From here, we're going to go into spine stretch. So I want you to lift your spine up nice and high. Dorsiflex your ankle joint and open to about shoulder width apart. Try to relax your toes a little bit. You don't want to think of toes to the nose. You want to think of the ankle joint doing the work. Try to get those spinal extensors nice and active from your sits bones all the way up through to the crown of your head. If you're tight in your hamstrings, you can modify by softening your knees a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that articulation down. Once you've maximized the spine, the pelvis tilts forward just a little bit without the shoulders getting involved. Inhale. Exhale, restack up, up, up. One of my students in Texas, I love my Texas students. She says, imagine your body as a sticker against a wall, and you peel that sticker away from the wall. You got to take the sticker off. That's that little tilt of the pelvis forward. Then you got to place the sticker back on, and then you got to roll back up. I love that cue. That's a fun one. Now here we go. One of the most common things I see on this, breathe in. Exhale, roll through. Is right about here, the shoulders will start to shrug and protract and elevate, right? We don't want the shoulders to get involved. We want to keep that shoulder scapula stabilization, that neutral scapula position. Hands just inside the feet. That's it. Head's in line with the spine. Inhale. Exhale, push here, 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 and reach up. Breathe in. Exhale, roll through. Don't lose that dorsiflexion. Active dorsiflexion in the ankle joint. Inhale. Exhale up. Up, up, and reach up. Last one, breathe in. Spine stretch. Again, it's about stretching the spine. You'll have a little stretch on the hamstrings when you get that tilt forward, but it's about opening that vertebra up and getting that beautiful stretch. Inhale, exhale, up, up. Watch your, thank you. We saw those shoulders. It's just a natural component. The body is a biomechanical genius. It always picks the path of least resistance. So if it wants to shrug as you come up, it'll do it. Keep that shoulder neutral. We're going to go into rolling like a ball. So what I like to do is bring the legs together. Nope, straight legs. Point your toes. Good. I come back to whereas I might be about halfway or a quarter of the way into my roll-up position, right? From here, we slide the knees in together, grab low on the shins, and tuck the heels into the sits bones and hover the feet just above the mat. So you see what we created here. People don't create and keep this beautiful C-curve. You want to keep the distance from the heels into the sits bones and maintain this beautiful ball shape that she's created, that you've created. We inhale back to the shoulders. Yeah. Exhale up. Don't go to your neck or your head, okay? Keep that ball position. Keep those heels in. Go ahead, Ara. Inhale back. Exhale up. Hold it there. A little lower on your shins, a little lower towards your ankles. Low on the shins is where you want your hands. That's it. Inhale back. Exhale up. Most commonly, I see people kicking the feet. They kick back for a little leverage, and they kick forward for a little leverage. Keep those heels tucked in. Maintain that beautiful position. Let's do 4 more together. Inhale back. Exhale up. Inhale back. Exhale. That's better, Ara. Now we're getting a rhythm. Keep those heels in as you go back. Keep them in as you come up. Oh, yes, Ara. 2 more. Now she's finding a nice rhythm. She's rolling through that lumbar. We hold it here. Don't be afraid to transition right into my favorite exercise, double leg stretch. We grab the tops of the knees. We tabletop the legs. This transition is flawless. We come down slowly with control. We touch the low back to the mat. And look at this position. Eyes are on the thighs, legs are tabletop, elbows are kicked out slightly, hands on top of the knees, ready for double leg stretch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, around with the arms and back to the legs. Inhale, reach. And around. Now remember, isometric abdominal exercises. The knees should be biased in just slightly. Isotonic exercises, the knees are going to be over the hips. So this is an excellent position you've created, Ara. Your study is awesome. Inhale, reach. Exhale, around. You reach the arms and legs out. We try to get those thumbs to touch above your head if your shoulders can manage it, and around. Inhale, reach. Exhale, around. Imagine you've got a big rubber band and you push the band away and you pull eccentrically that band in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Keep your hands on top of your knees and let your body just relax. I really like to transition right into the single leg stretch, right into crisscross. It makes a really challenging series, but we're going to let you guys rest a little bit in between, and we're going to let R rest a little bit in between. You're doing great. Let's get into single leg stretch. Pull back into your C-curve. That original starting position, she's biased just slightly past the hips. Legs are in beautiful tabletop. Both hands will come over her right leg as her left leg reaches out. One of the most common things I see is these feet are not on the same horizontal line. They should stay on the same horizontal line, and switch. And switch. And switch. Stop there. You want this hand over this one. That's it. Your outside hand over this one. And switch. That's it. Shoulder scapula stabilization. Keep going. Nice deep forward flexion. Another thing I see very commonly, and switch, stay there, is pulling that knee way in. It's a great stretch. I love that stretch, but it's not the single leg stretch from BASI. Switch. That knee stays stable to ensure, keep going. Pelvic lumbar stability. It makes you work that much more. And boom, and hold it, both knees in, grab your knees, let your body drop down for a moment. Okay. Again, if you're feeling aggressive and you want to go right into crisscross, it's a great transition, but we're being kind to Miss Ara today. Ready for crisscross? Interlace your hands behind your head. Come into your chest lift position. Rotate towards me, lengthen this leg out. Again, keep your legs along the same horizontal line. Again, no, stay there. Don't overdo your rotation. You see how far she's rotating. We only want to rotate far enough where we can maintain that beautiful pelvic stability. Right about there, Ara. And switch. And switch. That's looking good. That's looking good. Keep going. Feet right here. Boom. That's better. We don't want to over-rotate. We don't want to lose the stability that we've created, that beautiful foundation. It's chest lift with rotation. That's all it is. Adding the single leg stretch. And exhale. And exhale. And exhale. You're losing your knee. Bring that knee back a little further. That's it. Don't move. That's it. And switch. And one more if you're following us. And switch and back to center. Drop your feet. Relax the body. One of my favorite transitions is to hold that up position. Grab the backs of the thighs. So let's pretend we're back in that position. Interlace your hands behind your head. Come back into your chest lift. Tabletop your legs one at a time. Let's just say we stopped right here. Rotate towards me. I come back to center. I take both legs up. I like to grab those thighs. Pull yourself a little deeper just to ensure you get that nice stretch on your back and that deep engagement of the abdominals. The upper body drops down. The hands drop to the side of the body and one leg drops down. And we're in a nice transition for leg circles, right? This is how we do leg circles. If you feel it's too unstable, you can go to a T position, but this is how we're teaching it in the movement analysis workbooks right now. We come along the inside line first. Inside, around, and around. It's a circle. We inhale one direction, we exhale, same direction. Inhale around, exhale around. Now you make that circle as wide as you can without losing the stability of the pelvis. If you start to feel that you're rocking too much, hone it in a little bit. Inhale and exhale. After 5 full repetitions, full breath patterns, reverse direction, outside line. This is a beautiful exercise. It's about pelvic lumbar stability and hip mobility. We want to move around and move around, but don't lose the stability of the pelvis. I see a lot of people doing a chopping movement. They go down and up and down and up, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a nice circle. Point your toe, bend your knee, drop your foot, reach this leg out, slide your other knee in, bring it up to the sky, dorsiflex the ankle joint to the inside line. We inhale and we exhale. If you're moving with us, keep this movement going. Keep this movement going. You notice how I transition. Make them safe. Make them cognitive. Make sure that you're moving and transitioning in a safe manner. It's healthy for the body. It keeps you and your client safe. Hold it, reverse direction, inhale around, exhale around. Now, one of the common things I see is we should be using our shoulder extensors to press the arm into the mat to give you a little extra support. But people start to get tense, so they bend their elbows, they flick their wrist like this, and look at what it does to the shoulder joint. It internally rotates the shoulder joint. So lengthen those arms out long. Okay, we're going to go over into the rollover. We're going to go over into the rollover. I keep saying that. We're going to go tabletop one at a time. Glue the knees together. Now, make sure you maintain that neutral pelvis. Use those lower abdominals as you reach those legs out to a diagonal line. Important to keep that security of your core. Inhale to perpendicular. From here, think of the pelvic curl as being a good preparation for this exercise. You basically go into that posterior tilt. As you come over, I most commonly see people either too high here or they're collapsing and folding in half. You want to make sure you lift that core up to a nice solid position, legs horizontal to the floor together, still plantar flexed. We dorsiflex the feet, open to shoulder width apart. Try to get down to the mat without compromising the spine if you can, and then roll the spine down. Keeping that dorsiflexed ankle position. About midway, you go to plantar flexion and just come right back to your starting position. That was excellent, okay? We inhale to perpendicular. Exhale over. Look at those shoulder extensors, putting a little energy down. I love that. Flex the feet. Open. If your spine moves when you go to hit that mat or go for that extra stretch, you've compromised the spinal position. Just moving at the hip joint is where that stretch comes from. Exhale, roll through. Around midway point to plantar flexion. Go back to starting position. If you're doing this with us, let's do two more. Inhale to 90 degrees. Exhale, over, right to there. Flex your feet, open. Stretch if you can, and roll down. If you feel undue pressure on your neck, don't go for that extra stretch. Honor your body, honor your range. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, flex, open, stretch, and down you go. Depending on your flexibility, bend your knees, drop your feet. Depending on your flexibility, if you can go over for that nice stretch, enjoy it, but make sure you're not putting any undue pressure on your neck or taking yourself into an uncomfortable position. Honor your body, honor your range. We're going to lengthen our legs out, lengthen our arms out, give yourselves a nice stretch. Roll to your side facing that direction. You're going to roll to your side facing us. Both legs are long. We're going into side lift. I want you to try to create this nice straight line. One of the most common things I see on side lift is people coming in too far with that leg, both legs. If you're not feeling the obliques and you need to bias to a slight bend, that's okay, slight banana shape, but try to find this beautiful alignment as if you're between two panes of glass. Top hand is down for a little support. Head is resting on the arm. Most commonly, people will push this hand down for a little support. Keep that palm facing up so that bottom shoulder is externally rotated. Now, this is a unilateral movement. So the waist has to activate to lift the legs up on the exhale. The bottom waist will push into the mat a little bit. Inhale down. Exhale up. That's it. Inhale down. If you're not using the obliques and the lateral flexors of the spine to pull the pelvis in, then you're moving at the hip joint. Make sure the obliques and the waist are doing the job. and down. Stop at the bottom. Also, I see people get a little tired, fatigued, and they start coming in like this, kind of creating this almost fetal position. Make sure you keep this beautiful alignment as if you're lying against a flat wall. Let's do 5 more together. And up and down. Exhale, up and down. Put a little pressure into my hand. Yes, Ara, do you feel the difference? She's not utilizing those obliques entirely and the QL entirely. There you go. That's the range I want. You're being a little conservative. I appreciate you being conservative for them. But get into those obliques. Excellent job. Now, from here, I just want you to lift your body up. No, keep your legs down. Lift your body up onto your arm. We're going to go to side kick. Now, my favorite modification for side kick is keeping this hand down, bringing this hand behind your head. Here. Most commonly, I see the ribs sink. I see the shoulders shrug. Pull the ribs up. Keep the alignment of the spine. Side kick is taught with this hand up here to the head, like that. So that's the position you want to set if you're going to bring that that bottom hand down. And that's okay. We're going to do the modification today. Okay, you feeling comfortable there? I just want to check from this angle. Chin up a little bit. Find the line of your head. So the head's in line, everything's in nice conjunction here. Top leg kicks forward. Dorsiflex forward. Plantar flex back. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Keep those ribs up. That's it. Very nice. The body's going to shift a little bit. That's okay. It's the change of the center of gravity. It's adaptation. But if the body's moving excessively and you're feeling like you're losing control, that's compensation. Adaptation okay, compensation not okay. And boom, boom. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale. Hold center. Drop down. Bring your knees all the way in. Lift your body up and switch sides. Nice job. We transition right to the other side. It's a beautiful, easy transition. Legs are long. As you can see, her palm is up. She's maximizing that stretch on the bottom arm to find that beautiful line against the wall. Head's in line with the spine. Hands gently down for support. Unilateral movement from the waist. Exhale up. Inhale down. All right, you've gotten so much better at those. Excellent. Nice. That's a good range of motion. Imagine if you had a little grape under your waist right here. You'd be smashing that little grape. That's ensuring that the pelvis is moving the legs as one unit from the lateral flexors of the spine. Inhale, exhale. I don't care about the height. I don't care how high your legs go. I want you to feel this length and engagement on the midsection. Most commonly too, you'll see the shoulders shrugging up. People getting a little tense there. Keep that shoulder scapula stabilization. And 2 more. And down, and 1 more, and down. Beautiful. Slide up onto that shoulder. Good. Onto that elbow, I should say. Take this hand behind your head. Pull up in those ribs. Find that nice postural alignment. Let's see how we look. Oh, we're looking beautiful. I love it. Forward with the leg. Flex. Point, point. A little bit of movement in the body is okay. This is a long lever. And the center of gravity is changing immensely as it moves forward and back. So adaptation is okay. If she's moving forward too much, opening up too much, dropping the ribs, that's compensation. Find your line again. Boom, 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 boom. Flex your foot forward. Dorsiflex, dorsiflex. That's it. Boom, boom. Plantar flex. Boom, boom. 3 more. 2 more. Bring that hand up a little tighter towards the head. There you go. That's it right there. and center, and drop the leg. Go to your hands and knees. Nicely done. So hands here, knees here. This quadruped position, or this hands and knees position, I see people either bringing their knees too far forward and their hands under their shoulders, hands under your shoulders, like that, or they're too far forward of the hips, hands are under the shoulders. You want your knees directly below your hips and your hands directly below your shoulders. Okay? This is a beautiful neutral position. So commonly in cat stretch, again, a lot of different ways to do cat stretch. There's yogi cat stretch, there's different disciplines of cat stretch. A lot of it comes from that thoracic region, and you go into that deep, deep rounding position. That's great. There's a lot of disciplines, a lot of things that's beneficial for. Go to neutral. But in BASI, we want to really segment that lower body from the upper body because it helps with more advanced level repertoire. Okay, so our cat stretch is flexion of the lumbar spine, allowing the rest of the back to adapt to that flexion that was created from here. We inhale to neutral and then just extend the upper thoracic spine, keeping this neutral nice and secure and flat. Neutral. Exhale into flexion of the lumbar. You see this beautiful adaptation that she has to this flexion of the spine. Inhale through neutral. Extend the upper back. Do you see how little that movement is? It's not a big movement. The thoracic spine does not have a lot of range of motion. And that's what you want. As much as your body, your back can handle, or your client. Neutral. Exhale into flexion. Let the head adapt a little more. Watch the shoulder shrug. Inhale through neutral. Extend. That's excellent, Ara. One more. Also, as we go into flexion, we just have this natural tendency to shrug those shoulders up. We want to keep that neutral scapula position. Keep that serratus anterior active to keep that scapula in its neutral position. Through neutral and extend. A little more thoracic, that's it. Almost as if you're pulling your chest away from away from the mat. Did you feel the difference? You're just winging a little bit. Go through neutral. We're going to go into front support. Nothing moves here. She's created a nice stable platform with her shoulders and her core. This leg is going to extend. You anchor the foot to the floor with no movement in the pelvis or torso. The opposite leg extends. That was stunning. Shoulder scapula stabilization. The right knee comes in and out. So we want that knee to come just to that 90-degree line and just kind of barely graze the mat. And exhale and inhale and exhale right there. Two things I see happen. One is the first one. People bring that knee in too far. You see, it compromises the position of the spine. The second is that the knee is not grazing. If the knee is not close or grazing to the mat, that means the hips are lifting and the anterior deltoids are pushing too much. And we're losing that serratus anterior, and we're losing that position. So reset your position. Hips down a little bit. Chest open a little bit. There's your position. Up a little bit. That's it. Right leg, boom, and out. Left leg, boom, and out. Right leg, and inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Watch the hyperextension of the elbows. Make sure you're co-contracting. And hold it. Put one knee in, put the other knee in, go into rest position. Oh, rest position's my favorite. We just let the back stretch. We let the shoulders stretch. We give the body a little break. You can always go into rest position if you're in the middle of a vigorous mat class and you need a little break. Let's get into some back extension. Let's go to our tummy. Interlace your hands in front of your face. Elbows are down. Good. Okay, we're getting into single leg kick. Legs are just a couple inches apart. We've found this nice, beautiful, lifted, proud position. This is something you see common. People kink their heads back too much. Be sure you keep the head in line with the spine. By the way, I know you see me making these little corrections and putting the body in different positions. I'm always just guiding. I'm never pulling. Make sure your tactile feedback is very subtle and it's just a guide. It's not a pull or forceful. Okay? So our ribs are engaged. Shoulders are neutral. She's looking great. Once you get that body set, hip extension comes into play. Oh yes, get those knees to hover depending on the flexibility of your hip flexors. Those hip extensors are active. We kick our right 2 times. 1, 2, left, 1, 2. It's inhale and exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Find your rhythm. Find your flow. Be precise. Breathe in, breathe out. Lengthen your legs long. Drop your body down and reach your arms in front of you. I want to go over swimming with you. Swimming is one that we lose the cross pattern on often, and it's very important for your brain to get that neurological cross patterning. So we pull our abs in, we lift our arms, head, chest, and shoulders up. We lift our legs up. We hold that line. Beautiful hip extensor engagement. Be sure to cross pattern right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really nice shoulder scapula stabilization. I can see this good core control, nice hip extension. If you or your client gets off of your cross pattern and starts going right, right, left, left, then stop. Go ahead and stop. Come down and reset. It is, again, important for that brain to cross pattern properly, okay? Also good for the balance of your body musculaturely. Okay, go into rest position, stretch out your back a little bit. And I want to go over one more back extension exercise with you, and that's the Swan Prep or Swan Dive Prep. Remember, there's Swan Dive Prep, there's drop and catch, and then of course there's the Swan Dive. I'm just going to go over the prep today. Be sure you don't segment or incorporate the two. The prep is very important, a lot of technique to it. Go back to your prone position. Elbows by your side. Head is in line with your spine. This is important. Keep the elbows and forearms placed into the mat, nice and heavy. Legs a couple inches apart. What I see is people just pushing from their hands to crank up into that back extension position. You want to make sure your back extensors are activating first and getting as much energy into it as you can before you press into the forearm and elbow and then lengthen the arms out. Also, I see the shoulders shrugging. If you can't maintain shoulder scapula stabilization as you come up, then shorten your range or don't come into the full position. Watch your elbows. That's it. As she exhales down, with control, the legs lift up like a rocking chair. I love that. Elbows down. Inhale, extend your back first, legs drop. Then the arms, if you can, if your body will manage this position. Watch the elbows. Thank you. Exhale. Slowly down with control, maintaining scapula stabilization. Legs lift up. Inhale, up. Head stays in line with the spine. We don't kink the head back. We keep it in line with the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale down. Elbows down, forearms flat, legs lift. One more. Inhale, up. I love that reverse articulation she's getting. That is amazing. Inhale and exhale down. Forearms flat, body comes down and relax. Go ahead and push back into rest position. Really nicely done. Once you've gotten that one down, you're feeling really good and strong with it, then you can transition into the drop and catch, but we'll do that on another video, okay? And then maybe eventually someday swan dive. That's a tough one. So I love to transition back to my supine position or back to my back from a up stretch. So we go back to quadruped or back to your hands and knees. We curl the toes under. We lift the hips up to the sky. We get a nice little stretch before we go. You can soften your knees here, bend your knees, and either walk or hop through your hands. Oh, that was a good one. And come down to your sits bones. And now we've just transitioned nicely into our supine position again. We won't go totally supine though. You're ready to take a nap, aren't you? Back support. Poor Aura. She's like, when are we going to be done? You're doing great. It's a great class. Long legs. Hands come back. Now remember, when you're putting excessive load on the shoulders, like the back support exercise, you want the fingers facing forward or sideways, but never backwards. This is externally rotating the shoulder and you could damage your shoulder. So when you're putting this much load on the shoulder with the body, either that way or that way. This way is how we prefer, but if it's too hard on your wrists, you can go sideways. Now for her, she's really going to watch that hyperextension. Head is in line with the spine. You're creating a nice A-frame here, which looks great. And then also most commonly, I see people go into lumbar flexion like that. And that's like doing a pelvic curl. You're going to lose the extension of the back, the extensors of the back. Keep your neutral pelvis and hinge, don't articulate. Take a breath to prepare. As you exhale, the head follows the line with the spine, you hinge up. As you inhale, you come down. And I'm just going to help her with her elbows a little bit. Exhale up. Soften your elbow a little bit. That's it. Inhale down. It makes it much harder. It makes it a much harder exercise to co-contract. But it really protects those elbows. You want to protect those elbows. As she exhales up, she reaches those toes down. Try to flatten your feet out here. Inhale down. That's better on the elbow. Excellent. Exhale up. Inhale down. Try to get the head to move with the spine. Exhale up. There it is. Inhale down. As if your chest was pushing towards the ceiling. 2 more. And down. Inhale. Exhale up. Inhale down. Very powerful exercise. Give yourself a little stretch. Let your wrists relax. And what I want you to do is just peel your spine down all the way. Slide your heels in. Bend your knees. And relax. If you're working out with us, give yourselves a moment to relax. We're going to finish with what we started, the pelvic curl. So our heels are in, feet a couple inches apart, hands down by your side. Take a breath in. As you exhale, go into deep posterior first. Use the hip extensors to lift up, keeping the ribs engaged. Breathe in and exhale down. Now, if you're like me, when I start these in the beginning of my session, my body is talking to me. It's telling me what's tight. It's telling me what's loose. It tells me what needs to be stretched, what needs to be strengthened. It tells me what's sore. Right? It's talking to me. Hopefully, by the last one of your workout, after you've done a nice mat session, your body's not talking to you as much and it's moving a little more freely. One more, you're feeling a nice stretch in the hip flexors. You're feeling a little more extension of the arms. Your spine is just moving gently and nicely. When you're done with your sessions, give yourselves a moment to be calm. Open your feet a little bit. Let your knees come in so you can just rest here. Face your palms up. Close your eyes and just breathe. Focus on the breath, inhale. Focus on the exhale. We have very busy lives, and it's so important to give yourself or your clients a moment to be calm at the end of their session, okay? So give them a moment to breathe, reflect, be proud of the work that you do for your body, or allow them to be proud of the hard work that they do for themselves. Ara, you can open your eyes, give me your hand, come on up. Thank you so much for joining us. We loved having you here. Have a great day. Good job. Hi guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you know how much I appreciate your continued support and being a part of the Pilates Life vlog. If you like what you see, hit that like button and hit subscribe to become a part of the Pilates Life vlog. Thanks again, be kind, and have a great day.